you. Thank you very much for tuning in once again to the Strictly Crossfade podcast. I'm your host, DJ Bobby D. I hope everybody's doing well, doing fine. I think this will be episode 6. We are rolling right along. Okay. Well, last week we had a episode. I got a little. It really meant a lot to me last week. I think that we just dropped it. It was called Work for Hire, and that's really a sore point for me, especially with DJs. And I really enjoy being a DJ. I love the creativity. I love creating. I love getting on the tables. Going in the studio, figuring out ways to manipulate sounds and frequencies, and then try to enhance them and bring them to a wider audience, so people would love it or enjoy it. So this episode here is just piggybacking off of that right there. I just got a few more points that I want to try to make or whatever, and then we can move on. There's something new that I want to do. I want to start incorporating this. Start trying to give flowers to DJs, while they're still here to enjoy them, or at least definitely DJs, especially crossfade DJs that have piqued my interest, or that grabbed my attention, no matter what I was doing. And when I heard these particular cuts, it just boom, So I'll do that a little bit later, but with the episode of Work for Hire, I started thinking, what happened, really what happened to the DJ? It's like, where did the DJ go? It's like the DJ is invisible now, but the DJ is there. The profession is still there, but we're not on the forefront anymore. So, and I was just thinking, let's try to, hopefully you guys can ride with me and we can try to figure this out. And I started thinking, as far as I can go back, man, thinking of DJs and things like that, I can probably go back to like 79. That's about it, I mean, I was a real young, and then I'm sure DJing goes back way further than that, but, that was before my time, and I really don't, really have nothing to do with that. But just say 79, 80, 81, right up in there, boom, there's disco and all that shit going on. And then, DJs are pretty much doing their thing. And the DJ is kind of prominent as far as especially hip hop or anything like that. The DJ is kind of prominent in that. And hip hop at this time was pretty much controlled by New York. It was on the East Coast. I mean, that's pretty much where we're gonna get anything. Like you get the rap, the rappers, the light when that came out, boom, then. And then it went from there. Some people say it started in Jamaica, whatever, but I have no idea where it started. But that's where it was. As when I first recognized hip hop, it was a New York thing, and the DJ was on the forefront. Man, it was just like the DJs ran the parties. DJs did a lot of the work, got a lot of the recognition, and the MC was the was a person that was with the DJ to compliment the DJ. What he was doing was like controlling the crowd. He was, he was letting the crowd know where they can participate and whatnot. As far as I know, from my research and what I've seen, and then the MC got him a little bit of it. The MC's like, they wanted to do more than 2 or 3 minutes on stage. They wanted to do a little longer, so they started developing other areas of linguistics and whatnot in order to stay on the stage longer while the DJ got down. And before you know it, you got a rapper, boom, now you got a full-fledged rapper. He's out there doing his thing, till the break of dawn and then all that. But the DJ's still there. And then, so we roll through the 80s. We get close to the 90s, roll right through the 80s and whatnot. And then, you started getting in mid-80s and whatnot, when rap crews came out, and now the rappers are established and they're doing their thing. The DJ's still there. The DJ's still part of the crew. And the DJs also had you would at that time you put the DJ name first, on the project or whatever to pretty much sell it, because people were still coming to see the DJ. And the DJ had new tricks. They could scratch and things like that, can spin around. While the turntables are still moving, stop the record behind his back. People like, wow. The DJ's like it's like a musician. you know. So, but it's a brotherhood. It's like you got the beatboxer, you got the MC, you got the DJ, you got the dancers. They're all a crew. And this is still under the New York, wing of hip hop. So then we come, and at this time DJs had like when you listen to a hip hop record, then you would have the DJ cut on there. Like bam, boom, you buy the Gangstar record, then you would have like DJ Premier, which is a Texas native. Have to let that out. He had a Deep Concentration. Then you buy the Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince album, whatever. You got Jazzy Jeff has a cut on there, Touch of Jazz. And that was normal for DJs to have their own cuts on the album, and so on and so on. Jam Master Jay had some stuff on on Run DMC records, and so on and so on with all the groups. Now we're getting closer to the '90s. Now actually we're in the '90s. Now the West Coast is coming up. So West Coast is kind of grabbing hip hop a little bit. So hip hop is kind of like Common made the song. How He's the Lover. How hip hop went from one coast to the next. So now let's say hip hop has went to the West Coast. Need some more sun and whatnot. So now the West Coast has control of hip hop. But the West Coast is kind of like the East Coast because, and the best thing about the West Coast, a lot of the big names over there were actual DJs. So, Dre was running things, and Dre's a DJ. So the DJ still had a spot. You have DJ Quick, who was doing stuff, and he's a DJ, and Arabian Prince, and so on and so on. It's like, so it's in the West Coast now, and the DJ still has a spot. DJ still can make production, can do production, still pretty much sell the album. Also, do the big parties. The DJ is not a work for hire. The DJ is actually a full-fledged member of a unit. And a very important person. So, and we start going on through the mid '90s and get closer to the end of the '90s. Then hip hop started changing. Start going to Midwest. Still, you still got the presence of a DJ. Now the mixtape DJs are hip hop is changing to where everything's going to mixtapes now, and then that's great because DJs pretty much putting out the mixtapes. We're still working, we're still prominent. We still have a spot in hip hop. And especially at Midwest, you have big DJs like Green Lantern, still ringing off. So everything it's still kind of the same. Then we have, the Scratch Pickles and things like that. And, so now DJing is like, it becomes this novelty act. It's like, okay, well, now DJs can actually put out records of just DJing stuff. And then, and I expressed on the last episode how I felt about when you have 5 scratch DJs on one record, you can have a scratch record. So, you need to mix it up some. You need some mix DJs, cut DJs, just, different type of DJs in order to make a good, well-rounded record. But that was the last episode. And then we start moving more into 2000s and things like that, getting deep in there, and that's when hip hop started transferring over to the South. And now I'm starting to wonder what happened to the DJ. I'm from the South. I'm from Texas, and I'm just thinking like, you get deeper into the South, you start thinking of all the big groups that have come through the South. It's like, from the UGKs to, I don't know, Scarface. You got all the Atlanta rappers. T.I. You get the Migos. You get all these groups that were just, boom, boom. Even Outkast and all these groups that were putting out all these mega hits and mega records and whatnot. But where's the presence of the DJ? It's like, who was their DJ? It's like at some point we started losing notoriety. It's like, the DJs just became the fifth wheel, on the car. It's like like T.I. T.I.'s been out forever, and T.I.'s sold millions of records. T.I.'s done big things. He's done millions of shows. He's been all over the world. I'm sure he's been in Russia doing a show or whatever. But who's Ti's DJ? I mean, it may be DJ Drama because I'm sure since he's a mixtape guy, he's probably DJ for all of them. But where's the other? Where's all the DJs that was backing all these groups up, all these big South groups, and going all over the world with them, I'm thinking, I don't want to say it, but did the South kill the DJ? Damn it! Hold on, man, I gotta take a drink. That blew my mind there. So I would really hope that that is not the answer. I wish. I mean, if someone could, please figure this out with me or whatever. Yeah. Because I don't know what happened to the DJ. It's like, or who are the other, who are the DJs that's from the South that we can look up to, instead of our, DJ Screw, I mean, he was more of a producer, around that time than DJ. He made his mixtapes, that was around the mixtape era. Yeah, Michael Watts, but who did Michael Watts DJ for? I mean, I would like to know if Michael Watts like went around the world with like some of these South acts that, the Paul Walls and those guys that went around the world. Hopefully, Michael Watts was their DJ at the time and went around the world with them and backed them up because there's a DJ backing all of these guys up. I mean, all of these big rappers, all these big hits, all these big names. I keep using the name Drake because he's one of the biggest. J. Cole's, whoever, all those big guys that are out there right now, they all use DJs, and I just wish that the DJs were more known. Maybe DJs are, even if the DJs get production on the albums, then great. I just would like to hear some of their names ring out. And I don't think it's just me. I think there's a lot of fans out there that that would like to hear, what this guy's doing. That's but so that was I just want to continue from last week, just that piece right there because I was thinking and I'm just like I just didn't want it to be left that the South killed the DJ, but who knows? Maybe the South did. Shit. Well, who knows where it goes next? And then I know, man, and it's like I know if it ever went back to like if it went to like Miami or places like that, then then the DJs would be back because, I mean, Miami is full. When I first started DJing, that's all I was DJ was like Miami bass, and that music is full of DJs. I mean, extraordinary DJs, man. ADE, those guys, Jealous J, Debonair, all those cut DJs, Jock D, man. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I can name Magic Mike. Well, even though some of these guys aren't even from Miami or whatever, but they've done a lot of their work in Miami and in the Miami bass scene. So when I call their names, that's where they're known from. And I mean, these are incredible cut DJs or whatever. So especially that Jock D, I need to try to get some Jock D stuff. So there's a little thing that I want to do right now. It's like there's a couple DJs. I want to start giving DJs some flowers. So I may incorporate this on moving forward shows. I'm gonna just highlight a couple DJs like and their cuts that kind of caught my attention at the time they were doing it. Now I'm gonna go all the way back too. There's some DJs that's from that did these cuts. These cuts, some of these cuts are from like way back, maybe in the '80s or something like that. But you just got to think of a time before you hear this that you never heard this before. It's like, and this may not just be cuts. This is like from a production, studio production. Also like sometimes you used to hear DJs and they'll have like one take and they'll just cut something real quick, maybe just the chorus or whatever, and then that's it, and they're out of there. And then there's some pioneers like just say DJ Quick, he incorporated the first time I noticed that multiple tracks for a DJ in the studio, like the DJ had like three or four tracks, and and he would switch it up. It's like he wouldn't use the same patterns. He would switch it up, and it's like, oh wow, this is like a verse. This is like a guy that's rapping or whatever. He's changing it up or whatever. And the first time I heard DJ Quick, do that, it was this song that when he first came out, it's called "Born and Raised in Compton," and this is the first chorus, and then I play the first chorus, and I play the second chorus. How he just switched it up. Check this out. Did you guys get that? It's it's like he multi-tracked that, and he did like a couple different cuts. It's like he wasn't thinking about or worrying about the live show. He went into the studio. He's like, you know what? This is a studio. I'm working in here, and I'm gonna make this the best piece of work that I can do in the studio. I'm not gonna worry about the live shows. I can freestyle something for the live show, and this I kind of caught on what he was doing, and it blew my mind. Here's the second chorus when he came back in with the same cut, but then he added to it. You see that? See, that's what I'm talking about. Like when it's like this is just. He's a DJ. He's talking on his rapping and whatever. He made some music and all that or whatnot. But it's like you don't have to. You don't have to just. You can just do certain cuts, man. You can groove a crowd, just doing just 2 or 3 cuts. You don't have to come up with all this crazy stuff or whatever. It's like, he did his chorus. And then he switched it up, and then he extended the Compton part, and just Compton, and he transformed that bitch at the end. Compton, Compton. It's like at that time you weren't ready for that. This is a rapper, and you're just like, oh wow, no, he's not a rapper, he's a DJ, and he's not just a regular. He's a damn good DJ. DJ Quick. Yeah, I'm definitely giving my roses on that because that was when he first came out, and I was just like. That was the first time that I knew that brother had skills, especially and all that's crossfading too, so which was great. One of my favorites from one of my favorite groups is Terminator X. It's just this nowadays this will kind of be a little simple or whatever, but back then when he did this, like in the late '80s, there's so much pandemonium going on in this cut. He just took 2 lines. And he just got the 2 craziest things he can find. I guess it's like pandemonium, but it's done very rhythmically, and it's just like it just makes you go like you're losing your mind, but it's dope. Terminator X. I think this one's from the Prophet of Rage. 1 second. Okay, no more. Okay, no more. Okay, no more. Yeah, Biggie John, come on. It's like it's 2 cuts, and nothing, and he's not, and nothing's bleeding. Like he's making sure he doesn't cut over the other cut. He's leaving room. He's like get a little, and it's stupid, and then there's a little, that right there's a cut, and he just got the get. That could be he could do that on the tables, or he's probably punching that in on the keyboard. But it's dope. It's not. They're both complementing each other. It's just like the rhythm is crazy. It's like it's like it goes together. That's what I'm talking about. Just get when you get in the studio, when you're DJing or whatever, you get in the studio, you can do cuts that complement other cuts. You don't have to come up with the craziest, most dynamic. No one else can do cut in the world. You just got to jam, man. You just follow the rhythm and just ride it. He just made a pattern. He made a pattern with one cut and then complemented that pattern with another cut, and it's just working those patterns. And now the whole reason that the whole crossfade thing even exists. I am a graduate of the school of Jazzy Jeff. Yes, I attended that school, and I know that Philly is the mecca of DJing. So I understand that. And this right here, now keep in mind, this right here is a 1986. Let me give you a little backstory of this. This cut right here, this is 1986. Now, I don't know how old you are or whatever, but there was nobody transforming at any kind of professional level in '86. Maybe down in Florida, they got some guys that were doing some real crazy things that were wondrous. But around the world, '86, transformers like that was new. I know DJ Aladdin came out a lot transforming in the competitions around '87, '88, something like that, in those DJ competitions. But Jazzy Jeff, listen to how this is '86. This is a teenager, on a big stage in New York in front of thousands of people, and he's transforming like he's been doing this for at least 10 years. You got to understand that this art form that he's doing right now is brand new to the world. But look at the professionalism. Look how good he is, and it's all cross fading. There's no switches are involved. All right, here we go.
Transform. That's DJ Jazzy Jeff on the Transformer scratch. Hey Jazzy, wait a minute. They didn't make enough noise for me. Give him another Transformer scratch, Jazzy. One more Transformer.
Let's go. What? Oh my God, that damn Will Smith, man, he just got the best. He just had the best ride. Woo, my God. This is a teenager, it's if you're not a DJ, you just to know a lot of these things aren't easy. But Jeff just did that with just so much grace and rhythm and patience and you got to start. This is that cut right there was brand new at the time, and that right there, you hear that is a 10-year professional right there with that cut. He already had it. I don't know who thought they invented that or whatever, but Jeff already had it. Now, just to keep that whole wave of Philly DJs going off right now. Now, here's a cut from a 15-year-old, and this one, he already credited. He grew up down the street from Jeff, and Jeff was one of his idols. And he used to go and try to watch Jeff's crew, and and he was trying to start a crew or whatever. He was like the young DJ that they wouldn't let in, and but I think Jeff helped him a lot also. But this kid right here won the competition, I think about 15, 16, and he dropped this cut right here. Now this is another Transformer cut, but he goes forward transforming and backwards. And he does it super fast. So it's like, this is DJ Miz with Fresco and Miz. It's like, check this out. This guy right here, another Philly DJ.
Show him what I'm talking about.
just to give you a taste of the crossfade. Why the crossfade is so important. It's like there's an easier way to transform. He can hit the stick, and that'll make it sharper for you. But this 15-year-old kid knew how to control that thing, how to control that fader and that turntable, and his creativity. And he did it super fast. You have to slow this thing down, and to see what he's done, you have to literally slow this all the way down to see what he's doing. He's transforming. He's chopping up the cut, and he's going backwards and forwards with it. I mean, I'm gonna let you hear it one more time. You got to.
Show 'em what I'm talking about. Bring it back, Miss, one more time. That's fine. That's just the thing.
How do you get that good that damn young? Like, where do you go from that? You know, after he left that studio session, and literally, I would say you could just literally quit. There's nowhere else to go. And that's kind of literally what he did. Because after this record right here, man, you never really heard anything else from Miz. You know, he's just one of those prodigies that just came and went. But definitely want to, extend the roses over to that kid. I mean, he's grown. He's very grown now. But I'm just, back then, and a Texas native. I gotta shout out, another one of my favorites, DJ Premier. Now, this is the first time I ever heard this cut right here. It's like, and what's so crazy about it is that this cut here is going in between the 33 and the 45 of the speed on the turntable. You can control the speed to go from 33. I think that one, whatever they call that when it spins around, and then up to 45. The speed of the record, and he's transforming, and he's going from 33 to 45, and this is the first time I ever heard it. So we'll hear two passes of it. So that right there, that was just he was going 33 to 45, and then he transformed it back, bringing it back to Q, and then he goes, like give it, it's like jamming it, just not doing a lot, but doing a lot, like and this all goes back to what I'm saying. When DJs go in the studio and work together as far as make a jam, you just got to get different style DJs. He's doing some simple. It's simpler now, and it sounds simple, but it's not. It's kind of difficult, but it's very creative. And here's a longer. This is the second course of that record, and which he just enhanced it a little more. Now, when Premier did that, what Premier was letting the industry know, what he was letting all the other DJs know is that he's not here for play. Premier is serious about what he's doing, and he's here to take some heads. He's gonna take some heads off, and if anybody get in his way, that's what I get from that. Because nobody was going that hard at that time, and then turn around and this guy's mixing up speeds and everything. He's trying to crush people, and he's with Guru. Guru's like Guru's like a real abstract type of rapper, and their thing is just they're staying abstract and they're staying, like their own thing. But Premier is just letting the industry knew at the time, like, look, motherfuckers, I know you guys may think we're cool and we're chill over here, and we're just real smart and everything, but I take a motherfucker head off. I'm just letting you know that, and I'm just gonna show you real quick. Now, last DJ that I want to give flowers to is, man, this is the DJ that had made up my mind for me. Like from my first episode, I was telling you that there's a DJ that I was listening, that I heard drive by in the car, his song, and his cuts, and just the way he cuts, it just blew my mind. I'm just like, what the hell is that? This is Magic Mike. Magic Mike, I have never heard Magic Mike not professional sounding, or I've never. It's from the first record to whatever record, he always cut like he will kill you. You do not want to be in a cut battle with him. I don't give a fuck who you are. We do a jam. If he puts a jam together, just DJing and stuff, and you put one together, he's gonna kill you because he's all about being in the studio and overdub and overlaying. He does cuts like vocals. That, and I got to give him that credit. Like, you go to the studio, you do overdubs and all that kind of stuff with your vocals. He thinks of his cuts in the same manner. With choruses and all of that. Like 3 and 4 passes, 3 and 4 tracks with just cuts and whatever, and then come back and lay the back on the damn cut, do a cut back and stuff. It's like nobody does that but DJ Magic Mike, and this is the same trick that DJ Premier did in what I just showed you, but this is that same trick just on acid. This is what Miami adds to the whole mix. Miami will, and I know he's not from Miami, but he has a lot of clout in Miami, and he's done a lot of stuff, a lot of Miami-based music and whatnot. But this is that same trick, just taken up like 1,000 notches, and he will kill you. Here we go. You know what? I don't think you felt that. I think you need to hear it one more time. No prisoners. Man, just after that little piece of right there, that piece of music, I done sweat through my whole shirt. I'm ready to get it. Let's get out there and get it right now. I'm ready to start a fight or something. Oh my God, I love hearing art when it's done right. I love hearing cuts when it's done right. I mean, that's it for right now. DJ Quick, Terminator X, DJ Jazzy Jeff, DJ Mez, DJ Premier, and that damn Magic Mike. I just have to give them brothers some roses right now. I think I'm gonna incorporate this a little more. I'll come back every couple shows, and I'm gonna go through it because there's a lot of DJs, man, that need recognition. There's a lot of cuts and things that that you guys may have never heard. I mean, I've heard so many. I mean, there's so much of this out there. There's so much gold out there, so much treasure, and I guess if you allow me, I will unearth a lot of it for you and let you hear it. And some DJs some people aren't here with us anymore. Some people are still here. Some of the cuts are going to be local. I was blessed enough to have got that cut from that crew that was out of Dayton, Ohio, or whatever. and they had this wonderful DJ, and he put this cut on there that was just wonderful. Well, I'm gonna play that, because, that kid deserves, his roses or whatever. So, this was episode 6 of Strictly Crossfade Podcast. I thank you guys for riding with me one more time. Like I mentioned before, we're at this podcast is available on all the platforms now, even YouTube. So, and you can always go to, if you listen to it on YouTube, whatever, the comment section is open. You can comment and let me know what you think. If there's ideas that you have that you want to, that you think I should incorporate or whatever, please let me know. If you guys are looking for to, I don't know, chop it up, or you want me to come and do something or whatever, I can be reached at I'm DJ Bobby D. I can be reached at the Crossfade email address, which is strictly C like Charles, F like Frank, podcast at yahoo.com. Drop a line or whatever. We'll see what we'll chop it up, see what we can get going. Whatever. What else? So, I would love to. I'd like to let you know so it seems that a lot of people are listening to the show, and I do appreciate that. We're this will probably be the 6th episode, and I was looking at my analytics and whatnot, and we have about 300 listeners for the show, and I didn't think I was gonna get more than 25, but thank you very much, and I'll keep trying to come up with these ideas, and keep fighting for the DJs, and keep it coming, man. If you guys allow me, thank you very much, and I appreciate that very much. Like I said, this has been episode 6, Strictly Crossfade Podcast. I'm DJ Bobby D. Until we talk again, I'm out. Peace.